Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today, some of you asked why I name my plants. I just name them after famous songs or famous people or people that I knew. Today we're doing Matilda, named after the song Waltzing Matilda by Slim Dusty from Australia. He has the words like, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." Well, today we're going to be planting Matilda today. We're going to repot it. Today is 10/22/21. It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 11 degrees Celsius, dropping to 41F or 5C. And yes, I still got my tropicals out there. I try to harden them off for the winter so they go dormant, because I don't have the lighting and stuff. But I don't know if you remember the song Waltzing Matilda, but here's some of the words to it. It was a famous song back in the day, and it was pretty good. It stuck in my head, so why not name a song in honor of Slim Dusty? He's from an Australian man. So Aussie Bonsai bloke, Sam, there's one for you. So to make a long story short, I had to, if you remember, I cut the tree real good, but I had to take all the roots off out of the plant outside, because we're so much, and with this video I don't know how long the video will last. But we'll do some root pruning on this, and then try to get her in a pot, because all my trees right now, it's getting harder for me to move them in because I got no one to help move them in. So I'm going to have to take them out of these real big pots like I did Matilda, and just repot them in smaller pots with lighter material. Now Matilda is a citrus tree. I forgot if it was a lime, lemon, or orange. The name faded away. But they like an acid-based soil. So right now I just got a hanging basket pot to put her in. I drilled some holes in it, and I'm going to put perlite in there on the bottom. But no screen, so the perlite should be good. Just some came out. The dust. So we'll put that here for now. And before we do anything, let's check out our roots. Blue Jay Bonsai. Jay did the same, getting his plants in, so that was a good idea, Jay. Well, I do these anyway. And the reason why I do the repotting is, one, to make it lighter for me to take care of on the inside, and two, to get all the ants and other insects that are in the soil out. So right now we got a real long squiggly root right here. I don't know if you can see it. So I had to dip my pruners in peroxide, and I'm just going to cut right about here and take that big massive root off. Now here's another root that's going straight down, so I'm just going to cut that one off like that. There's another one coming down, and you can see all these big long roots coming down. So we want more of a radial root base, so we're just going to cut these. Cut this one like this, so we get it into our pot easier. Now, I don't have no fancy bonsai pots for these big trees because they're super expensive, so you got to do what you got to do. Now this one's coming out nice and radially, but it's starting to grow down, so I'll cut it right where it starts to dip down and take that off. You can see how it was dipping down. So now we're just going to take our shears for these roots. I'm going to dip and clip this one, and just cut some of these downward roots out, and just enough off the top here so we can get it into, see, this one's curving, so I want it right there. Take that out. I want to get it into the pot, so we're going to try it out. And right now this is nice and light. And the pots do get heavy, especially if it rains and I'm trying to bring them in. it's not an easy task. So I get my root rake and just get a little more off of here. And then we'll just get it in the water, rinse it out pretty good. See, whatever light you see now, that's what they get all day long, and then in the evening I shut them down and let them sleep for the winter time. So let's see if it'll fit in our container. And see, from the last pruning I still got the lipstick on, and from all that rain and stuff, the lipstick held out great. So now if I get it in like this, I think that'll be pretty good. Now we're not going to pick a front yet. Right now, I'm going to let it grow and see how it develops during the fall and winter months, because it's going to go dormant. But for the oddest things, these things flower in the dead of winter for me. Why? I have no idea. It's supposed to flower in the spring and summer. But what are you going to do? I tried hand pollinating, but to no effect. So my quest for citrus will still go on. Not giving up. So we're going to put our soil mixture in here. And what I did is, before I mixed it, I wetted it because it was real super dry. But that's our mixture. Let's throw some in there. So I just hope I mixed enough. Just like that. And before I do anything, let me get my beneficial bacteria here, because I knew I forgot something to put out. And you can see, so I can get the surface tension out, I'm just going to mist it. So the roots know there's the soil's down there with a nice wet base. Just like that. Okay, so let's take our tree and see how it looks inside. And that should be a good, perfect height for it. Now, I'm going to put some soil in the middle. A good cup to raise it up. And then I'm going to take my micus. Now this is a massive root system here. Wipe my hands real good. I got a good tablespoon here. Drip a little bit into here, and then we're just going to put the micus on there. Might take about 2 or 3 tablespoons. Get our root base all coated. But remember, it's not going to burn the roots. This is beneficial bacteria. And they work hand in hand together to help the tree get established. And right now it's under stress, but this is a good time of year to do this, because it is the fall months and it starts getting to grow good. The roots will start growing, but I'm not going to stick it outside, because right now I brought it in this way here. There's no more bugs in it. But each one I'll bring in, we'll cut, we'll try it out, and we'll see what happens. Make sure your hands are good and dry before we get in here. Now the azus might go on a little bit better, because it's a nice powder. So we're going to just tap it in there. Just like that. On the top of the roots. And then get some more in there. Just like that. Just get it in there. Get the roots all saturated. Okay, now that we got that in, let's continue. Let's get it in the center of the pot, get it into the soil the best we can. And now we'll take our mix and just add it into the pot. So we do this, we want to keep the bugs out. And that's about the only way we can do it, is just bare root it. So Matilda's going to get a nice fresh set of potting soil. It's going to be easier to hold and to carry. It's not going to be that heavy. Now I'm going to take my bamboo chopstick and just work the soil into the roots, and just work it in there. Fire that soil into the roots zone. Fire it in. Don't be afraid to fire it in. We want to get all that air pockets out of there, so just fire it all in there. Fire it in. Now this has a nice root base starting to flare out like that, and it's flaring out in nice little fingers like that. But so far we're doing, so far so good, hopefully. Don't be afraid, stick your hands in the soil and get it into her roots. You gotta get it in. You gotta fire your fingers into that soil mix and get it in there. There we go. Just fire it in. Matilda will have a nice new home. Get our root base in there real good. Just like that. Just get it in there. There we go. Just like that. Make sure you get the soil in good. Press with your fingers the best you can if you got arthritis. Get a rock or something to hold it in, or just push it in, or a different type of a tool, and you'll be all set. Boy, I just mixed up enough soil to get it in there. I'm going to have to make a double batch for the bigger ones outside. There we go, just like that. Get our soil in all the way. I know it's a little deep, but just to get the roots going. You can always move the soil back later. And I used up every part of the soil that I mixed for Matilda. But that's not the name of the citrus tree, it's just the name I gave her, so. There we go. Just like that. And the reason why I'm squirting it and not using a water container is because the soil is dry. You got to get the surface tension out so that the soil accepts the water. Just like that. And then I'll get now that we got the surface tension out, now we can give it a good drink of water. So I got 3 more big trees to get in with heavy root bases, and the pots are super heavy. So the soil with the pot is over 100 pounds. So that's why I got to make it lighter and easier to bring them in for the winter time. And this way here I get all the bugs out. Soak them in the water. And that's about it. There we go. Nice and firm. She's nice and solid and the soil doesn't move. We got a little bit of our root growing. There we go. Let's get it in. Boy, that night terror, I'm going to have to call out the rat patrol to get after the night terror because they're tearing up a lot of my plants for the winter time. So I'm going to really have to go out there and see what I can do to protect them. I'm going to have to start throwing perlite in all of them. Now for the top, I'm just going to use some of the pine bark mulch. I don't know if this rock would be too big. Yes. Or this feather rock. Just something light, because I want this all to be light. Now we'll use that rock and maybe this guy. Put it in, just to hold it down, just for a little decor. I think one rock is good. Why overdo it? So now we'll take our pine bark mulch and we'll stick it into the soil right on top. Just like that. There we go. And then we'll take our root rake and just smooth it in. Plain, simple, that's all you gotta do. Just for now. There we go, look at that. Nice and easy. Okay, we'll get the mulch nice and wet so I can give it some more water so I can get it to start leaking out the bottom. So I make sure it's thoroughly watered. This way here I can do this and get the water into the soil real good. And then we'll take Mr. Elephant and just water until the water runs out of the pot, and it'll sit here for the winter time. So hopefully Matilda takes good. I know it was a drastic repotting, but it had to be done. Had to be done. There we go. There's our Matilda. See, you can make any spot. I think this might be a nice front right here. Let me see if I take my peroxide and we take this off. There we go. You can see the trunk better, and it'll keep it from growing in a downward manner. Now, if this one's growing to the inside, we don't want that. There we go. And we got another one right here. So I think that'll be pretty good. I'm going to have to work on these wounds later. Get them a little flatter. But for now, I have to really concentrate on getting the outside ready, the inside ready for housing all my trees for the winter time. Hardy ones outside, I got to get the microclimate ready for them. And inside, they're just going to get this one light, and then darkness the rest of the year. So that's all I can do. And you can see something ate the top of this, so we're just going to cut it back down to here. But I'm not going to cut it here because it'll grow in, so I want it to grow out this way. So I'm just going to let the scissors stop, hit the branch, and just cut it off. That's it. And you can see the thorns on her. Gives her a touch of class. So there's our little lady for today. I see the clock on the tablet is starting to wind down. And today is Friday night. It's dance night. Wives and husbands, get your partners together. Get your sweethearts together. Grandma and grandpa get together. Kick the table and chairs on the side. Put the kids to sleep if you got children. Put on some old big band music. Get yourself a nice hot cup of tea. Put on a little Benny Goodman or any big band member you like. Ozzie Nelson, he's pretty good. Can't think of any more. My brain's going dead today. But I'm going to have some, I got some tea going, so I'm going to have a cup of tea and sit back and relax. So you do the same. Have a nice little dance, a little waltz with your loved one, and then sit back and relax and enjoy some old-time radio music. Especially the big bands, because that's when music was music. So you take care, everybody. Thank you for coming to see little Matilda here. Let me just wipe her pot so you can see it. And I have to make a label for her. And we got it. A nice little tree. And hopefully it'll be good. So I'll have to get some better shears for here, my branch cutters, and see how I can clean that up later. Because right now this thing is winding down fast. Okay, everybody, have a good night, and don't forget, dance with your loved one. Why not? Remember the old days when you first met and fell in love with each other. Get yourself a hot cup of tea, dance, play a nice waltz, and then listen to some old-time big band music. You take care, everyone, and thank you for coming to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors.